Good afternoon and welcome to week two. This week, we are going to still stay within the same literary period. However, we're going to focus a little bit more on authors' personal experience with America and how this personal experience helped define and conceptualize their own individual perceptions of America. I want you to think this week about how individual perceptions of America go into our collective understanding of what it means to be an American in this country. We're reading a lot of literary works at this time period from the mid 19th to late 19th century and early 20th century. So I want you to think about different things that have influenced American culture during this time period, in particular, migration tendencies within the culture and immigration tendencies from outside of America. So, for example, think about how the influx of European immigrants changed the face of America during this time period. I also want you to think about how migration tendencies from, for example, the South to the North and from the South and the North outward to the West also changed our cultural landscape. Think about the conflicts with Native Americans during this time and how their culture was changed as a result of a lot of the migration tendencies that took place within the culture and how that redefined the actual American cultural landscape as well. This week, you'll be reading from a variety of authors that give their own personal experience within this time frame. I wanted to make a note about the reading from W.E.B. Du Bois's The Souls of Black Folk. Now, in your book, they discuss how during this time period, W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington were basically ideological opponents of one another. We see that Booker T. Washington was more so of someone who was a little bit more conservative and said that the African American had to basically go through agriculture and industry to improve themselves, whereas Du Bois said that a little bit along the lines of the same thing. However, he felt that African Americans had to have access to education and also philosophy and the humanities in order to build up their race. Now, this week, you'll notice in your introduction that they pay quite a bit of attention to the debate between Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. I'm not going to have you read Booker T. Washington this week, and I'm going to basically have you refrain from that whole debate with Du Bois and Washington, primarily because that debate in its own could take up a whole week. This week, rather, what I want you to do is focus on the other writers, and I'm going to have you do an excerpt from W.E.B. Du Bois. And you'll notice that in the background reading from Du Bois and Henry Adams, you'll be able to make another interesting parallel. What I'm going to do is I'll put some information online, on the Facebook page, I should say, about the Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois debate. And if you would like to read about that further, you can go ahead and do that. And I'll have a couple of articles if you would like to do some posting or if you would like to learn more, but it won't be required from you this week. Also, I wanted to let everyone know that I received everyone's response assignment, and I've been enjoying reading everyone's post on Facebook. Keep that up. I will keep updating Facebook and I'll keep updating my responses to your posts. So I'm kind of fluid about that. I kind of do it as I go along every day, a little bit every day, keeping in mind that I also teach another class as well along with this, who's also doing another Facebook page. So I will get to, your responses, in my convenience. But I have been reading your responses and I enjoy reading your analysis on the writing that on the readings for the week. So keep checking in on American identities as I will keep checking in and updating with material to go along with this week's readings. As always, well, one more thing I wanted to add with this week's readings was that I am also including the assignment sheet for the literary analysis. Now, to double check, I just want to double check my calendar to make sure that I have the right date so I don't give you guys the wrong date. The literary analysis, the final paper, will be due August 10th. So, what I've done this week is that I've put an assignment sheet for the literary analysis in this week's assignment. Now, That does not mean that you have to start writing your literary analysis this week. And don't fret, because I'm going to give you all more examples of what I'm looking for in regards to the literary analysis, sample papers from last semester, and also some helpful online tools to how to write a literary analysis. But I wanted to just give you the assignment sheet early off in the semester so that you guys can have an understanding of what I'm looking for, along with the grading rubric, along with the due dates, along with some actual requirements in regards to MLA formatting and page requirements, things of that nature. So at this point, I want you guys to begin to start thinking about your literary analysis. Begin brainstorming some ideas, some things that are sticking out to you in the readings. Again, I'm not expecting you all to be able to write this literary analysis within the next week, but I want you to just begin to think about some ideas and think about those ideas according to the assignment sheet in your week 2 packet. So again, if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. I'm at my computer. I'll be at my computer this week. No plans to go out of town this upcoming week. So shoot me an email. If you need to meet with me, please let me know. But other than that, good luck. I look forward to reading your responses to week 2, and I'll see everyone in cyberspace.